What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Observe Proceed, where I observe and proceed to react. And today we are back in LA for another good old police pursuit. I actually have two lined up over here. So if you haven't yet, please like and please subscribe. And let's get right into it.
And we wanted to get some breaking news right now. We've been keeping an eye on this for the last few minutes or so. It looks like SkyCal's overhead right now of a stolen vehicle pursuit. We know that LAPD is the agency involved in this one as of right now. This started in South LA, and
South LA.
It's a little hard to tell where we are right now, but Los Cerritos, it looks like the map is.
Because I know it goes to Long
We
Beach.
want to get that location as soon as possible.
That's a drive.
For you. It looks like
this is gonna be kinda long, huh?
Probably on surface
Wow.
streets here, right near the 405. It looks like near Long Beach, Los Cerritos area. So what we know, as Gio said, this is a stolen vehicle. It's hard to make out there. It looks like it's a red sedan
It's already in
that
Long Beach.
LAPD is pursuing right now at pretty quick speeds. And at this point, we don't have much information on a suspect or suspects. Of course, many times there's multiple people in a car, but at this point, we just know at least the driver is who they're after here.
And of course, when we're dealing with surface streets versus jumping on the freeway, we wonder whether or not this will get handed off to CHP potentially at any point. But maintaining an eye on this as that car is now.
So the LAPD is going
zooming
into
close
Long
to
Beach
80
on
miles
the
an hour. It did
highway.
touch the 90s there for a hot second, and now
Usually they would
we're in
hand
the
it
80s,
off.
But that's that red sedan here that we're keeping an eye on at the moment. Looks like we're on the 710 going north.
Near the Harbor Gateway
But
area.
I mean, you always worry with traffic, especially as we're zoomed in and keeping an eye on everything right now, because as it gets tight, you worry, especially with.
All right, let's
with
fast
increasing
forward. Let's keep
speeds at
fast
this time of
forwarding
night.
till something happens.
I mean, it's kinda
Oh, okay,
close,
they're on
at
the
least a
street
few
now.
times
All
so
right,
far
all right.
as we get past this McDonald's.
Now in the Long Beach area, and you know, this is not too far away from South LA, where we know this pursuit first started.
Long Beach
Again,
is pretty far
wanted
from
for
South LA. What is she
stolen
talking
vehicle,
about?
But we don't know necessarily the circumstances. But yeah, blowing through these intersections.
It's a
right
good
now,
drive.
and you can see another thing is the windows look to be tinted on this vehicle as they are now making their way on the opposite side of the road, trying to wrangle their way through some traffic here.
And worth highlighting as well, Leslie made this point earlier, we don't know how many people are in this vehicle right now. Obviously, of course, there's the driver, but oftentimes this early when we jump into a pursuit, we can't really make out more beyond if there's a passenger, there's someone else in the back seat. We're trying to zoom in right now, see if we can get a better look, but those windows are a bit tinted, and just at least the angle where we're at, we can't really make out too much beyond just knowing
Looks
that
like
that
they got the
driver
window
is
down
there
though,
right
or
now.
whoever.
Yeah,
And
interesting
got the window
thing here.
down.
Sometimes we look at the vehicle, right? We know this is stolen vehicle, at least allegedly by police. It looks
And
like.
look at the
on that
LAPD
vehicle,
keeping up.
are two
Usually they're
probably
way
markers.
backed
It looks
off,
like there's
but
a
hey,
bumper
we're
sticker
not
and
we're
a
not in our
sticker
jurisdiction.
on the back windshield
We're
of
gonna be
that
right on the
vehicle.
bumper.
So that is not something we always see, but definitely identifiers. And at this point, it looks like police are trying to pull back a little
Yeah.
bit. And
Now they're
sometimes we
pulling
see
back. As
that
soon as
and
I
to
say
try
that, they
to
pull back.
Slow things down.
Right.
This is very dangerous situation, as you're seeing a lot of people on the roadway still tonight here in the North Long Beach area, and police want to calm things down.
All right, let's fast
although
forward a little
they're
more.
still
Let's fast
pursuing
forward.
And now they're
the
approaching
vehicle.
even closer. Yeah, there was that brief
Back just a little bit.
lights, and some of them are green, and all these vehicles don't even know. You know, if you're just in traffic on a Saturday night in North Long Beach, then all
Saturday
of a sudden
night,
these cars
right.
start
This
whizzing
happened
by.
on Saturday
on
night.
top of all these LAPD cruisers directly behind that, then it starts getting nerve-wracking.
Side
It's hard to
streets.
make out where that driver is right now. If they're in a community here, it looks like maybe a residential area is right now. If they're
Why'd
in
they go
a
back?
community here, it looks like maybe a residential area. We'll have to pull out again, but you could see they are making those sharp turns.
Man.
Maybe they crash
First
into a
veering
tree.
into the wrong lane. Now in the median there, definitely in the wrong
Yep.
lane. Very high speeds, especially on a residential roadway. And this is just a very dangerous situation right now.
Getting up past 80 miles an hour. I mean, goodness, like
Continuing
street
to
looks
rise
wide
to the
open,
median,
though.
But also now totally on the wrong side of the road. These are those situations where LAPD really does not want to see. They want to try to de-escalate the situation. And again, they don't know what this suspect may have. They know this is possibly a stolen vehicle, but they don't know.
Suspect's just
if they
driving in
are or
circles
how
right now.
dangerous they could be.
And that informs a lot of their
Obviously
decision
reckless.
making, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to give them enough space to prevent any sort of danger, but you don't want to put officers' lives in danger as well. But you know that they're constantly
Maybe they hit a
communicating in
cul-de-sac.
situations like this to maintain an eye.
Looks like they're
over it,
trying to
because
get back
even
on the
if you're
freeway.
In the frame right now, you do see that LAPD cruiser. You know that they're directly behind, that there's multiple units in pursuit of this vehicle, but they are in constant communication, even if you don't see the LAPD cruiser in the frame of this vehicle. As we zoom in on on the car right now, there's those markers we were pointing out earlier with that what looked like a bumper sticker, but these tight turns with
Turns when there are cars on both sides
right, just
of
parked,
these residential roads.
just sitting
wow,
there.
he did almost
you know,
clip that car
your
right
mind
there.
trails off, and we've seen many crashes and collisions where even if it's a parked car, you don't know if that vehicle's then going to fly into someone's front yard or backyard, and you know, if people are just sitting in their homes on a Saturday night relaxing, and then all of a sudden this is going on.
They're not out.
And right now it's just simply based on what we've been looking at these
All
last
right,
few
let's
minutes.
keep going. Let's fast forward.
This to come to an end. This is happening. Please be aware. But you know, all the wrong lanes going on to another major street, Long Beach Boulevard. I expect
Same old,
just
same
behind themselves
old.
just going in circles.
Yes.
for a
See, in
moment.
circles, I
Now
knew it.
driving
Look
the
at
opposite side of the road
look
there
at a
for no
chopper
reason,
trying to
just
play with the
swerving
light.
straight into the opposite side. It looks like there's some side
He's
damage
trying
to
to
this vehicle.
get that light off of me.
It,
Nah. Lights
correct,
on
right
me.
on top of the
yep,
tire there.
Yep, right next to the headlight. Yeah, you're right. It does look like that. So, and that's the first time
Yeah, you can
we've
see it up
we've
close.
noticed it here.
Actually, to the entire right
Tires
side
pop.
of the vehicle.
And that was something that we didn't notice at first, and because of the darkness, and we don't even know if it happened at any point during this pursuit or if it was before.
Yeah.
We picked it up and brought it to you here on air. But right now, this moment, like these moments here, where we're out of the alleyways, we're out of the residential areas, those still carry obviously a significant amount of danger. But here is where our nerves start to tick up even a little bit more, because we've seen the driving across, you know, the wrong side of the road with other cars and traffic still hanging around,
Typical.
through red lights, yellow lights,
And-
green lights, and you never really know what's going to happen.
I'll tell you, Gio, what's making me nervous here is that if they continue down Long Beach Boulevard here, they'll hit the Bixby Knolls area, and that's an area that has a lot of restaurants,
Compton.
lined with restaurants, and a lot of people are out at all times, especially on a weekend. And so you just gotta you gotta hope that they aren't going as quickly as they were.
Yep. Because the margin for
It's
error.
That lady
through-
should
yeah,
just stop
through
talking.
This area that has
She-
even
she's at a
more
loss for
pedestrian
words.
traffic.
Yeah,
She's
you start holding
twisting.
your
See
breath.
people moving out of the way.
Words,
You're getting
come
the
on,
heads
man.
up from LAPD and
What are
the
you talking
airship
about?
that a pursuit suspect is coming through now through the Compton area.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking to say the least. On top of, you know, worried about every other person that might be out and about, because now even in this moment here on this street on Temple Avenue in
Bumps.
Caldwell, they just hit a speed bump. It slowed them down a little bit, picking back up speed, and you have all these cars parked outside of these homes on the sides. There's just not much room to maneuver at all. And this vehicle keeps on going. Like there has been no indication
That's
that
a
they're
narrow
planning on
street.
stopping, swapping out, or moving around, doing
And
that sort of thing.
I should also correct myself. I was a little disoriented when I was saying going towards the Bixby area. It's not.
He's a little
they're going the opposite
disoriented.
direction on Long Beach Boulevard, which is why they've made it to the Compton area.
And still, like even
She's just a little
whether it's in
disoriented.
this
What is that?
area or
Has she been
elsewhere, like
drinking?
there's all these vehicles we've already noticed,
Oh,
lost
man.
count at the numbers that are just kind of
Newscasters
diverting themselves
all
out of
the
the way at
time.
the last second. Now, granted, they're helped by the fact that you see
All right, let's fast
you-
forward.
There's LAPD.
the information, everything that they need to know is hitting the brakes right now and making a right turn. I was wondering if they were going to do anything a bit more abrupt. But, you know, one of the sort of silver linings that we're seeing here in just the last couple of minutes here as we've gotten into the Compton area is that, at least by our count, a little bit fewer number of cars than we saw when we were in North Long Beach.
Yeah,
and
the
you know,
cars are
then we
not
have
out.
the really reckless and dangerous driving on the sidewalk maneuver just to avoid traffic. And here we are again in a
Same
very
old,
similar
same old
circle.
so
That's a
far.
person.
Moving up and just going. So as you mentioned, it's a matter of time, right? Because there's nothing we've seen to indicate right now that even the damage on the right side of the vehicle, they're all narrow. Like there's just simply not enough room to perform anything like that. And of course, you have to worry about the danger.
What is this, an alley street?
Toward residents, toward their houses, toward anybody who might be out and about. So there's nothing. There hasn't been any indication that that's something.
Why would
they
you
even
go
tried
down
to
these
do
streets
since we got overhead? And then, of course, every time we sort of break out of these residential areas and get onto surface streets like what we're seeing right now, the eye contact, for lack of a better phrase, is even more contained and locked in.
All right, we need to see something happen.
We're thinking about the driver and what that driver may be doing if they're in the Compton area. So we've spent a lot of time.
Right.
Making another sharp turn where they veer
going in
into the
circles.
wrong
What are they
lanes,
doing?
and they get
Getting
situated
bored.
again. But we're back in the North Long Beach area.
Yep, there you go.
There's only about
Back
5
on
minutes
Long
left,
Beach
though, so
Boulevard.
let's see what happens.
And at this point, I guess just continuing to stay in that same area. You got to, for LAPD and these officers, just how frustrating it is at this point. Although they want to make sure they keep this safe, they want this to come to an end. Are they on the wrong side of the road? No, it's a residential area here. Just very narrow roads.
Why do they keep going down these
reclaiming
narrow
it,
residential
the last
roads?
20
Like,
or so
what
minutes is
is
getting
the
back
plan here?
into the same area they were before, and just driving
stupid.
through these neighborhoods where
So you
once
gotta
again,
bail
that
or
question sort
something,
of
but they're
pops
not
back up
doing
again
that.
of, are they familiar with the area? Because pursuit suspects tend to just hang around the area that they're very familiar with, hoping for any sort of getaway, while on top of everything else, they're just buying themselves time that inevitably will run out at a certain point. And right here, you're slowing down, which is some sort of good news, getting into 20, 25 miles an hour, but now climbing closer to 40. And every time there's an ebb and flow to, there's a moment you think that we might finally get an end to this pursuit, whether that's
It feels
LAPD
like right
finally
now
cornering, using a
they're
spike strip,
barely
or
driving
otherwise
at this point.
surrounding this vehicle, and then all of a sudden you make another turn and get away, because there have been moments so far throughout the last
Could
half
easily
hour or so where
spike
it looks
strip
like there's a
this
dead
car,
end coming
like-
up, or maybe it's an end of a cul-de-sac, and then no, there's something else that extends it for just a bit longer.
Yeah, I was trying to get in touch with our news desk here to see if
That's-
they're
she-
hearing anything on their
literally,
end. A lot
they
of
just
times
went in a
they're keeping
circle.
Their ear to those scanners. We know Mike Rogers does that.
That's where they
during,
came in. They
the
went in a
week
circle and came
to
out.
make sure he can keep up with all these pursuits out
Oh.
here. So we're going to try to connect with them and see
I like
if they're
pursuits like
hearing
this.
anything on 3, 4, 5, 6
Yep.
LAPD cruisers now behind.
It's almost over. It's almost
the
over.
stolen vehicle here as it heads into
In an
yet
alley.
another
Stupid.
alleyway in the North Long Beach area.
Almost looks like the exact same one from earlier.
It
We do want
probably
to
is.
Welcome in our viewers here
Freaking
at the top
stupid.
of the hour to CBS LA at 10 o'clock. I catch you up in case you're just now joining us on a stolen vehicle pursuit. It looks like it's slowing down, just trying to keep an eye on it to see if potentially this could be the ending. If not, we'll obviously continue and maintain our coverage of it, but we're going to show you video from earlier. That's going to be
Man,
on
who
the
cares
right side of
about your
screen
earlier video?
of some close calls with something that started in South LA. LAPD has been on top of this stolen vehicle pursuit for at least the last
Look,
half
they're
hour or
stopping. They
so,
stopped.
possibly
Get back
even
in the
longer than
shot.
that,
They
because we have
stopped.
broken in just the last
There's a
half
big
hour.
person running.
In terms of updates, there you go. You see the driver jump out of the vehicle.
That's a big girl. That is for sure a big girl. Hold on, let me rewind it. That's a big girl.
In just the last half hour. In terms of
Oh,
updates, there you
big
go. You see
girl,
the
go!
driver jump out of the vehicle, and
That's the
just within
fastest
the last
she's
few
ever
seconds,
ran
there
in
you
her
go,
life.
someone wearing the
Taking
blue
off.
shirt. We're
Yep.
going to mention that there was a passenger in
That's
the
a
seat as well.
sprint.
To Leslie's point earlier, we didn't know if that
Half
was
a
someone
sprint.
who wanted to be there
Quarter
or
of a
was potentially a
sprint.
suspect as well. And here you go. You have the driver
Wow.
bailing out of that vehicle.
Oh my gosh, she's slow motion
Looks
sprinting.
like I was gonna say a ponytail, but I could be wrong.
They're
on
just
that.
letting
She's
her
so dark
run,
in this
too.
area, as they continue.
She's
on
running
here,
straight down the alley.
They're really running for a long
Okay,
time.
she
It
must
looks like
live
they're
there.
going
Backyard
into
here.
a backyard of
Must
a home.
live there.
Very dangerous
geez.
situation, and it's just going to come to an end there. LAPD tackling
Okay, there
that
we go. So the
suspect.
LAPD actually kept on their tail this time, unlike usual. So they got the suspect right when the suspect like ran in somewhere, instead of like letting the suspect barricade and hide and then like have a whole search party going on for like hours. They finally learned something. Yes. And that's surprising. It's a big
This
girl.
backyard of this. You got
That's
to wonder.
surprising.
Do they know the home? They just were able to open that
Or
door
if it
so
was
quickly.
just happened to be unlocked. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, they just
No, that
I
they
guess,
knew
took
what they
their
were
chances at
where
this
they were
point.
going.
But LAPD officers
That was their
able
plan.
to tackle
It was a
that
dumbass
suspect.
plan.
We don't know if they are complying or not. But
Did not
if we
happen.
can get back to the vehicle,
Yeah,
we may
'cause
be
we
able
also
to
wanna
see
know the
if
second
that
person.
if that other person
There's another
was still
person,
in the car
too?
at the time.
And right now, just
Some
taking a look,
older
it's
looking
hard to tell.
Hispanic lady.
They must have already combed through at least some of the car and keeping an eye on it. But that was something we were going to bring up. That at a certain point we
No, it was
noticed
just her,
that
huh?
there was a second person
There was a passenger
in the vehicle,
There was.
maybe on their phone for quite a bit. That was also the side of the car that had some damage to it, at least some significant damage on the right side of the vehicle. We're going to show you the moments from earlier where there it pulled off, and then there goes the driver exiting. out.
Okay, yeah, there
And
was
then
a
there's
second person, yeah.
that looked, oh my goodness,
It was
yeah.
hard to see. We moved
Yeah,
so quickly.
They
we
got
just
her
moved so
for
quickly
sure.
with it, but we did see a second person just there for a half second at least, jumping out of the car at the same time, and now finally coming to the end
Big
after
girl
what
running.
turned out to
Anyway.
be a pretty lengthy and
Anyway, yeah, that was going in circles type of police pursuit. But this right here is crazy. This right here. I saw this news clip right here. Yeah, this was nuts.
We have
Look
breaking
at this.
news. A shooting suspect accused of ramming a vehicle into LAPD cruisers now in custody.
2 officers were taken to the hospital. KTLA's Carlos
playing
Herrera is
bumper
live
cars
in
with the
downtown LA
LAPD.
with the details. Carlos, good morning.
Good morning, Megan and Chris. And those 2 police officers with the LAPD, they're recovering from minor injuries this morning following that
And he
pursuit
injured him, so
crash.
he's
Certainly
gonna have some
scary
charges.
moments for them and for the workers. Many of them were showing up for their overnight shifts here at this row of produce markets when this pursuit crash and the shooting happened. That pursuit
Shooting?
was caught on video. Take a look.
What shooting? Games. Boom. Why was he driving like right that quick into oncoming traffic?
Video shows the suspect behind the wheel of a white Honda SUV leading police on a brief
Ooh.
pursuit along a stretch of Alameda Street before making a U-turn, speeding past a news photographer and then slamming head on into a LAPD cruiser before coming to a stop. The vehicle then surrounded by officers. The suspect exiting the vehicle takes off his sweatshirt and eventually surrenders. The chaos unfolded just before 1:30 this morning when investigators
drunk.
say officers responded to reports of a
drunk
shooting
Edgar.
at a produce market on 7th Street just west of Alameda. Officers arrived, immediately located that
So
suspect.
he
who
shot at
drove
someone
off,
at a
triggering that
market.
pursuit. Authorities saying the suspect was driving erratically. He was speeding and making U-turns on 7th before making his way to Alameda,
Downtown.
where it all came to an end after the crash near
Look at him
Bay
laughing.
Street. He was eventually treated by
He ain't gonna be
paramedics at
laughing
the
in jail, I'll tell you that.
scene and then taken into custody. 2 officers were taken to a hospital for evaluation after the crash. They were not seriously hurt. So far, not much has been revealed about the shooting, but investigators say it appears to stem from a parking dispute at the produce market.
Parking
And
dispute.
the suspect
Road rage
firing
during a parking
gunshots
dispute.
into the air.
What a
It's
moron.
unclear, if anyone was
Yeah,
injured
that
at
fool
this
looks
point. It's also
stupid,
unknown
dog.
if the suspect, Chris
Straight
and Megan,
short bus.
was under the influence. That's sort of part of this investigation, and we are working with the LAPD.
I bet
to
there's
get
some
the
racist comments. Let's see. The one who did not get away. California catch and release program. Well, buddy, he's not getting released. He injured officers, bro. Prison is great for weight loss. I'm not so sure about that. Used to be severe punishment for people who endanger the public when they go on high-speed chases and refuse to stop. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that was it for today. That's what happened during the weekend out here in LA. You know, some police pursuits. Like always, there's probably one going on. That's gonna go on tonight, and it's not even the weekend. But yeah, so that's why you gotta keep it locked. Like, subscribe. I'll be back with more. Have a blessed day.